David Sengeh has gotten too much pass. So let me talk about I'm small because we see the video they had today where, like I say, I can't bring him to now. But this is the young man we're going to talk about, and I want to share this article with you now because this is very important. David Sengeh, we will transform education in Sierra Leone, and this guy has an opportunity. For what I really don't know, this man has a very stellar record, but this is what has killed Africa anyways. This education, this the one that we learn book. They like it today in a way that don't affect Africa because when they come, they book and they take for candidates. So we're going to talk about David Sengeh, and we are going to point out a few things. There's this video that I'm going to share with you guys first, and we're going to talk about the amount of money that has been allocated to the budget, Sierra Leone budget, just on this education alone. I can display because Cashbox, correct me if I'm wrong. We get the allocation for budget for 2021 alone is $1.5 trillion.
That's correct.
Right. Yeah. That's over $100 million, right?
150 million, I guess.
Over $150 million, guys. So there's some serious racketeering going on there. Guys, think of this money that the diaspora. We know it's Italian. That money they are with also. $100 million towards education for a whole year. Since SLPP came to power, they've not built one school. But then run for go up in Mercury in school where he build. But this guy, for this kind of budgets where they budget, and for a young man like this one, show na so. I'm not forgetting people here. This is David Sengeh. This is currently the Minister of Basic Education in Sierra Leone. He is a graduate from MIT. I want you guys to understand this. This man gets good education, but again, what we call square pegs and round holes, right? There are tons of Sierra Leoneans, people and we know it's in their educational policies. This boy just graduates from school with him PhD. Maybe you go make a Minister of Basic Education. What you do? When I remember that we didn't go with Bill Gates, where they be pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for get an opportunity there for go sit down with Bill Gates by a program where they call Gatekeepers. I want to understand all in here what they talk so. Gatekeepers. Now that they organize them kind of material, they bring them professionals, they come together, like them millionaire, and then Bill Gates, and they come for it. They allow other people in the developed part of the world, on the developed countries, them for come and share their ideas on and plans for move things forward. But then like today, we probably will get. Remember, this is which I can't play this phone now. Remember this. This is what we're dealing with. These are the guys. This is what we're dealing with. This is David Sengeh. This is Marabio. This is Bill Gates. When a guy go talk big talk, when I don't say the SLPP, if anything, then good for big talk. But we can't show that this video. We promise we for do this live because we cannot let these things happen. We are not gonna let these guys get away with these things that they're doing in our country. And they can share this video with you now. And then we go talk about the 1.5 trillion leones with our equivalence of over $150 million a year towards education. At this particular time, we don't even know how much they pay David Sengeh, but then the rough estimates of say almost about $20,000 to $25,000 a month now they get as Minister of Basic Education. And I continue. But when I watch this video, where I can share with you now, let us see exactly why we do this. Guys, share the link, let more folks them can enjoy me. But let me share this video with you guys so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. This is just one of the videos them where they're picking their head grafted.
Family is not about blood. Big respectable brothers and sisters them. Though we they think home.
Guys, this is current affairs. This is what is currently happening right now. This is a video we come out. This is a show for a country where budget $150 million a year. $150 million a year. This is what we have. Let me play this video for you. When I listen to this, the cry of these people.
Family is not about blood. Big respectable brothers and sisters them. Though we they think home. Though we they think how we brothers and sisters they suffer with education. Though we they think. This now one primary school like Grafty. Me when they do this video record, now my brother in Islam Tambayambasu. And they appeal to me brothers and sisters in the diaspora. For you who want support this school, you go contact this number +232 76 56 65 85. Jama, take a look at the window. Outside open. Now the teacher this. Teacher, Mrs. Kalon, thank you for the good work. I like you for one thing. You know to make I like you. You get patient. When you patient, Allah they reward you. Now some kind of teachers then they know they stand here for teach, for pass knowledge. But this now one of the sadaqah in this way Allah measure beside the Holy Quran. Continue for patience. And this message, you know sabi me today. Me na Tambayambasu they talk to you. Tambayambasu. Family is not about blood. I don't come video now, but I get so yet Muslim brothers and sisters them. We can always like for help the Muslim brothers them. Where they suffer. And now I don't consider young picking there. Family is not about blood. Not they stand here for teach, for pass knowledge. But this now one of the sadaqah in this way Allah measure beside the Holy Quran. Continue for patience. And this message, you know sabi me today.
Cash on mute.
Me na Tambayambasu they talk to you. Tambayambasu. Family is not about blood. I don't come video now, but I get so yet Muslim brothers and sisters them. We can always like for help the Muslim brothers them. Where they suffer. And now I don't consider young picking there.
Folks, so of course, we'll get some each box. I think Cashbox will come join me now shortly. But when I see this video, this is just one. I can share the other part of this video with you now. Let us see. Guys, we'll not take any things lightly. You know, the SLPP then come, they say new direction, right? Then go take somebody like this, like a David Sengeh, when you get no educational background as far as educational policies. It was just a basic student finishing PhD education. President Biogo make a Minister of Basic Education. This man not study about educational policies. You don't get no administrative skills. Now we make Minister of Education.
Family is not about blood.
And I want to see him. This is David Sengeh. This is the Minister of Basic Education. I want you guys to see this. And I want to understand why we do this. Because if Sierra Leone for move forward, but they kind of images. Matter of fact, Kashi, let's switch to English because this is very important for the international community. You know, they have to see stuff like this so that they can understand exactly what we're saying. Guys, the video that I just showed, that you just watched, this shows in today's times, 24th century Sierra Leone, that has a budget of about $150 million towards education. Every year, $150 million. And this is in the capital city itself. This is not like in the villages or upcountry. This is in the capital city. The video that I just shared with you guys. But let me share this other video again so you guys can see. Because for a country that has a budget, annual budget for education of about $150 million, this is a disgrace. This is a shame. So let me share this with you again. This is the young man who's the Minister of Education. He graduated from MIT. He has a PhD in prosthetic legs. Guys, we're not making these things up. These are facts. So that is the person that we have to man our educational system. Somebody that just finished school from his PhD class, made a minister directly. When you have tons of Sierra Leoneans in Sierra Leone that are just as qualified, super qualified to take this position, that would have done a better job in turning our educational system to what it should be today. But listen, this guy has no clue. He left Sierra Leone at a very young age. Traveled, came overseas, had tons of opportunities. All they're thinking about is how they can bring back all of their loot to the diaspora anyways. That is all they're thinking about. That is why $150 million every year that's allocated towards to the educational budget. And this is to remind you guys again, the former government of President Kuruma budgeted 16% of the education, of the budgets towards education. 16% of the budget, the annual budget of Sierra Leone, 16% of it was budgeted for education. When the SLPP came to power, they increased the budget for education to 21%. So it's $150 million, which is 1.5 trillion leones. Guys, I'm saying these things slowly because I want you to understand.
We just need to state this fact. With the 16% like the last government had, they factored in the Lincoln Queen students, which this current government is refusing to pay for. So let's just, it's good for the people to know this fact that this $1.5 $150 million that these current government has allocated to the education budget isn't inclusive of like the Lincoln Queen students, these students that are languishing like as we speak right now. And this is the government that is talking about cybercrime law, and these are the people that should be protecting us because their IT skills should be worthy, like a worthy cause to our country. But what did they do? They kind of like let them go and kind of like broke stones all over the place in the country. But anyway, let's don't kind of like deviate from our main point here, but it's just to kind of like lay the foundation.
Absolutely. And guys, that is why we want to point out, because guys, you know, for those of you that know my story, if you don't know, it's fine. But I was against the former government to say we deserve more. And indeed, we deserve more, Sierra Leoneans. You know, access to basic education, you know, access to electricity, access to healthcare, access to clean drinking water. These are things that we're battling for. I went after the former government of President Anisbai Koroma. They were doing theirs. But since the SLPP came, matter of fact, we've retrogressed. They've taken us back another 20 years. But let me show you guys this video again for a country that boasts of, say, the SLPP government of President Julius Malabio. This is his minister right here. This is his minister, David Sengeh, a very young man, graduated from MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, a very prestigious school in the United States. He graduated from there with PhD in prosthetic leg making. I don't want to complicate the terms, but that's all he did. And this man was taken out of the classroom and made a minister of education. It's nothing but the Ministry of Education is riddled with corruption, and the worst type of corruption you can ever think of. But guys, let me share this video again with you. This is the second part of that video that I showed you. This is why we're doing what we're doing, guys. Watch this.
How old are you? Can you tell me your ages? How old are you?
I am 8 years.
Anka?
I am 8 years.
You? How many years?
Guys, blame me. Let me show it on this format right here.
I am in class 1.
What is your age?
What is your name?
How old are you?
How old are you?
And can you tell me your ages? How old are you?
I am 8 years.
Anka?
I am 8 years.
You? How many years old? 10 years. 10 years. Okay, thank you very, very much. Thank you, Mrs. Kalon. Thank you for your amazing good work. May Allah bless you. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you. Keep quiet. Keep quiet. Keep quiet. Now, I dey Kalefuna. Wallahi, I dey feel sad. I swear to Allah. I dey feel sad for una. I dey feel sad. Some of una, Allah get for change una destiny then tomorrow. But this go be a legacy history for una, inshallah. Some of them picking their own and they see so now we Muslim brothers and sisters them. Now we think about most of the big stakeholders then today. Now so some of them will go school. Really? In the poverty side, now we think. Now so some of them will go school. We don't be big stakeholders then today. And they call me brothers and sisters them. The sorry heart Muslim brothers and sisters them. Make una think about this camp. When I grafted this place camp.
So again, folks, I just want you to understand, this is in Sierra Leone, 21st century, today, very current as we're speaking to you, in the capital city of Freetown. This is a travesty, this is a shame, this is a disgrace. Matter of fact, you know, since, my brother was talking about, you know, the, Cashbox was talking about, Alfred was talking about the Lincoln Queen College, the students at Lincoln Queen. I have a video, I mean, it's full of a satire from Pararan Mock News, who actually mentioned what Cashbox mentioned about the fact that some of these kids have gone back to broken stones. President Bio, they failed. They deliberately stopped paying, you know, for these kids because they claimed that the former government signed a very bad contract. These are kids that were in college. But again, this is David Sengeh, who is the Minister of Basic Education in Sierra Leone. And these kids are sitting in such classrooms. Look at David Sengeh. This is the Minister of Education, Basic Education in Sierra Leone, an MIT graduate from the United States of America. MIT ought to be ashamed of themselves to have a graduate like this that has gone to Africa, gone to Sierra Leone, with all the amount of money that has been allocated for budget, with all the lies they've told. They said they feed kids in school. None of that is happening. Look at our schools in the capital city of Freetown. The same things that we bashed the last government for, the same things we went against the previous government for, the same things are repeating themselves again. But let me share this video because, my brother, before we actually even talk about the budget itself into detail, let me share these videos of students in university. And matter of fact, before I even share that one, I'm going to share this video of the president and David Sengeh sitting with Bill Gates because I want Bill Gates to see this. I want him to see this. Sitting with Bill Gates, talking about human capital, how he believes in human capital. Let me show you that video, and then I'll bring Lincoln Queen College up. Let me show you that video first.
What are you doing to make the country healthier and better educated?
Thank you very much.
Technology and innovation as key drivers for delivery. Now, to discuss the commitments our government is making and the impacts we're striving for, and to have a conversation with Bill about how the ideas he expressed can work on the ground, I have the honor to welcome to the stage the President of Sierra Leone, His Excellency Julius Maada Bio.
Welcome. How are you?
Alfie, you get me?
Yes, I do.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. So thank you that you mute him, but I forget I don't program any way, even if I don't mute. I don't think it will play in the video, but I hope I will learn as it goes. If it plays in the back of the video where we watch him over, then I would know what to do next.
Maternal and child mortality numbers need real improvement, and the population is growing very quickly. What are you doing to make the country healthier and better educated?
Thank you very much. I want to use this opportunity to extend to everyone here greetings from Sierra Leone. We've had our share of problems, civil war for 11 years, Ebola, man-made catastrophes, and also recently we had a mudslide. With that in mind, I've had the opportunity of leading the country for a very short time as a military officer. With that hindsight, what I have thought of the things I've harbored was how I could accelerate development in Sierra Leone to catch up with the rest of the world. We are lagging behind, I know that, but we don't want to go forward. We want to catch up with the rest of the world. So I have established a list of priorities, but sitting on top of that particular list of priorities is the human capital development. I campaigned on that, and I'm working on that. I am an example of human capital development and how it impacts development. I come from a village of less than 300 people. I didn't have shoes to go to school. I hardly had a chair to sit on at school. But when I look at how I have traveled a long and difficult journey from that village to the State House, that is the White House in Sierra Leone, I think education, which is human capital development, has played a critical role. And why do I say so? Because my mother, I lost my dad at the age of 4. My mother could...
All right. So basically, this is the president talking about human capital. So guys, we're breaking all of these things. So I want Bill Gates to understand that these guys, what they're good for is big talk, fluster, big boys, serious, make a lot of noise, appeal to the international community. But when it comes to actually doing the job, working for the people, there's nothing there to show. And that is why we want to expose these people, because if Africa is going to be a better place, it is our responsibility, you and I, you guys that are joining me on this live, all of you that are going to share this so it goes and reaches the people that it should reach. Share these guys. We have to call these guys out. I did the same thing against the APC government, and I'll be damned if I don't do it against the SLPP. We've been crying for the same problems centuries upon centuries, generation after generation. It's the same problems. Look at this education. Look at the school in the capital city of Freetown. This video that you guys just watched of the president was done in 2018. Sierra Leone budgets $150 million towards education every year. Why should we have education systems like these? Why should we have schools like these at this particular point? Why should we have schools like these, guys? Can somebody explain this to me? Why should we have schools like these? And that is why we have to change the narrative. We cannot let these people just talk big talk and talk bluster and just, raise the hell out there like they're nothing but the best when we know they're not the best. They are not the best. They're not doing what they said they were going to do. They're not doing what they promised the people that they would do for the people. They're not doing that. And we have to show these out. Now this president goes there and talks about human capital, right? But the human capital that he's talking about, let me play for you guys what real human capital means to this president. Let us see.
Pass us straight this news. They pass us straight to Sierra Leone president. Abe put here. This one no be fight. He get what I see, but I'm not into your government. I'm not into a party, but the thing touch me. There are some students with they drop out now from university. You don't know where they go. With they drop out from university because of scholarship. They say where your government can come. See, there are some yama where they do some.
Guys, I just want you to know what you're watching here. This is a Nigerian, broadcaster. He does it in the form of a satire, but he's actually pointing out the Lincoln Queen University saga that we have in Sierra Leone for a president that speaks about human capital. So I want you guys to see this. As funny as it is, it's broken pigeon and everything, but I want you to see. Get your interpreters if you have to, so you can see exactly what it is. I want you guys to see this. We're not making these things up, and we want people to understand this. We're not making these things up. We're not coming here because we want to bash these guys. No, we're pointing out these things because Sierra Leone has to be a better place for our people. And that is what we all want. So watch this.
Also, I know they pay the school fees again. A lot could drop out. Why some way their family get money could continue. Nah, a lot of those students they suffer. Some do they do conductor. Some do they do miliki.
Okay.
Some do they do job. Why I see the way these students speak, the thing touch me. I just read this thing, face me, this will not be quarry. You get the way fit I met this team. This person APC, I put on ADC or HIV put them. You can still take some or take them. Go meet you finish school. Because they are still Sierra Leone student, citizen. They are not APC citizen. Because these are the problem we get. I just slow myself down because this news is a very sensitive one. I know many politicians could take and say, I did some people's side. I just did the student side. The documentary where they do what I see, it didn't touch me. And if you watch and you should be somebody who get heart of giving to sympathize, you will understand why they read this news. So I'm not going here to blast your government. I'm not going here to blast Sierra Leone. I just come meet you. May you feel try. Talk to your people. May they pay these people school fees. May they go back. If the school fees too big, too much, you talk to Lincoln University. How do they bring her down? A lot of them now go be armed robber now. Be like, you go give edict to Sierra Leone. You understand? And those of you who never watch the documentary,
so again, I want to remind you guys, before we watch this, I want to remind you guys what you're about to see. These are students that the former government of President Alice Baikoroma, they actually, they subsidized education in that country. And this was not a flagship program. I want you guys to understand. The former government of President Nkrumah did not have education as his flagship program, but they subsidized education 70 to 30. So basically, the government paid 70% of the education. The parents only paid 30%. This SLPP government campaigned. You heard the president. He said he campaigned on education. So I want you guys to understand before we watch this documentary. Our president believes in human capital, but watch these students as they perish. Watch these students.
I am a student of the Lincoln Queen University of Creative Technology, Sierra Leone campus. One of my dreams was to become a telecoms engineer and a self-entrepreneur.
Oh, you good?
but today have become victim of circumstances. And I happen to find myself at the quarry with my mom breaking stones. You know, this has been the job of my mom, breaking stones, sending us to school. Till I got the opportunity to be one of the beneficiaries of Lincoln University.
I am a broadcasting and journalism student from the Limco University of Creative Technology, Sierra Leone. I was opportune to be one of the government-sponsored students at Limco University.
I'm a final year student at Limco University. I came from a family of 5, and I was the only one who was opportune with a university education.
I will share something on screen, so let's see right now.
Since August, we closed classes for the 3rd semester. The classes are not going on. It was almost 3 years since I left school. This is as a result of the present government has failed to honor the agreement they had with the university. And we as students has been lobbying all doors of stakeholders to see that we resume classes. But it's been almost 3 years now since we've been lobbying, but our lobbying seems to be
When I see the way they speak for your own country, for their own country, and they go to school, see the way they speak. Me, whenever they go invest, I cannot speak like this. The pigeon don't enter my brain. So I beg you and your government. I don't know.
It cannot be a
wahala, whether APC they usually they do people. Forget about the APC, forget about the other thing. Just more talk about these students, these children, as Sierra Leone children. Help them. Try make them go back to school. A lot they suffer. And you know that kind of thing. So I beg you on behalf of them to find life. I need to way you feel do, because you know I know they talk like this. Before I talk like this, I don't say the person we get forget anything where some of your advisors are going to tell you, try help these people. These are your own people. And this one help you just, I won't come back to my race something. This one help you just the problem of Africa.
Application here, you start your computer.
If this government come, they do road. I don't know why they do the road small. Think he said they won't take the position.
Anyways, you know, let's leave that. Guys, you've seen enough. You know, I've shown you, David Sengeh, who is currently the Minister of Basic Education. This young man, graduated from MIT. You see, there's the Deputy Minister of Education in Ghana, Cashbox. He shared his story, and I will pull that up, but I'm going to let you come in and, analyze these issues. This man, did his PhD in educational policy, in educational administration, basically. That is the kind of person. Just because somebody get PhD don't mean say the land book or the Sabiol thing. PhD not give everybody qualification in that area. We know to the new specification than the way they go study specifically. David Sengeh is supposed for the work at the Ministry of Health. Now the amputee section, also they make prosthetic legs, fake foot for people. This man talk about say, because you know how we come out Sierra Leone during the rebel war and they come there for they get opportunities, then preach about the experiences when they get the war. So they get a lot of sympathy, scholarships, and all the opportunities come them way. So people like David Sengeh there, the opportunities that they had, you would think that these guys would go back. But again, a lot of these guys don't even get a platform. David Sengeh be I remember one boy waiting at Dwazak farm. Where they make radio station, and then they call him Kevin Doe or something like that. Now the one boy they will help. Yes. We all get people that will help. We help that Sierra Leone. We not possibly will pull them come out Sierra Leone bring them overseas, because that should not be a thing where everybody get for come out Sierra Leone for go overseas for get a better life. No, we people like Ideana, David Sengeh gets an opportunity now for transform generations yet unborn as a Minister of Education. What is he doing? With the last one he gets his secretary where there are 2 guys so I fear where they gone allegedly where they say where they pay almost 70 million euros a month. We see the last time when Joseph Sano, when one of the civil societies them with Sierra Leone when a civil society where they focus on education, come out and say David Sengeh employing brother-in-law, the Ministry of one project where they get with United Nations and stuff like that. Yeah. When they breach all the rules, all the people where apply, they brother-in-law like go put his head in, nepotism, all kinds of things, paying themselves exorbitant amount of salaries. Then get his DSTI, whatever, but they need it, and they pay themselves $15,000 a month. Money we don't for make that in the diaspora. They are at the expense of the lives of our people. Look them picking there when they go sit down at school. Dirty, look the school, guys. What a shame. But Cashbox, talk to me because you want to talk about this, educational budget here. So, talk to me, bruh.
It's one of the, some of these things, Ibrahim, I see, I don't want to call your son's name. I see Ambi and you, whilst we were getting ready to come on live. It's got a decent life. They're well educated. That their bosses pick them up to go to school. Like they go to school, like food being served and things like this. The sad reality when I was looking at the Lincoln Queen student that is kind of like breaking stones with Imama Jishno. This guy was supposed to take Imama out of breaking stones, but rather now in the go meet Imama back. Now they add life. How does that feel? And the sad reality, Ibrahim, with that breaking of stones, it's the fact that if you don't take them, that the very minister them when they thief the money way for go towards the education system, that they us that they broke stone for soul, right. To make them your host.